San Diego, California. It's not just paradise for surfers here, it's home to more than 100,000 military personnel. It's the servicemen from here who are risking their lives every day fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. But it might surprise you to know that the same soldiers who patrol the streets of Baghdad can take home as little as $1,200 a month in base pay, about half what a British private earns. And now, the families of these American troops are finding themselves queuing for free food to make ends meet.
We just look forward to getting whatever we get.
How many in your family?
5.
In San Diego, the plight of military families is becoming the issue of the day.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to our community forum, and welcome back to an update of our Operation Homefront commitment to our military families. Our continuing commitment by this listening audience to the military families whose loved ones have been deployed in the war on terror.
Roger Hatchcock is a former mayor of San Diego and a popular radio talk show host. His daily program is again discussing why military personnel here are struggling to support their families.
Some of these people, and I know why we have to jump in on this. We have to jump in on this because, frankly, they're not being paid enough, okay? We've made this case before that the military personnel are not paid enough. And during the war
Hedgecock isn't just talking about the problem. He and other patriotic citizens are collecting food for military families, much of which is distributed by charitable organizations like the San Diego Food Bank.
There's a huge myth that food banks only serve the homeless, and that's not the case at all. Here in San Diego County, we serve about 150,000 people each month, and roughly about 50% of those folks have at least one person working full-time in their home. And unfortunately, here in San Diego, a lot of those folks are military families. And you would think this might be an isolated case just here in San Diego County, but when I go out to speak with my colleagues that work at other food banks around the nation, they too are assisting military families with their food.
Here at the Miramar Marine Corps base, where the movie Top Gun was filmed, the Marines seem highly motivated. These are tough fighting men, and they don't like to complain, at least not in public, about anything that makes them look vulnerable. But on Miramar, they're not just picking up weights. They're also picking up free food over at the Food Locker, a charity run by Rita and Peggy.
This is the food locker itself. This is where we feed them for up to 2 weeks at a time. Every family gets 2 cans of vegetables for each dinner meal. They get potatoes. We've got different forms of potatoes. We have rice-a-roni, rice, hamburger helper, stuffing mix. The value of what we would give a family is anywhere up to $250, $300. It's a big help.
The levels of need vary, but Rita and Peggy assist up to 500 military families a month. And while many are living under the federal poverty line, the base press officer at Miramar doesn't see wages as a problem.
We all volunteer. We're not forced into this, so we know what we're walking into. And it's a matter of just a way of life and learning for the very first time. And I think in a lot of ways the military helps and assists that, especially the American military.
Now, I don't know if I can say this. I don't think the younger troops get paid enough. I can't say that.
It's a matter of just being able to budget the money, and it's due to different circumstances.
Whatever the circumstances, today on the Miramar Marine Corps base, Boy Scouts are earning their badges by delivering the food they have collected for the poor to the Marines.
So can you tell me what you're doing here today?
We're donating cans. We're donating food to the food locker, and then the food locker will give food to the poor.
I mean, they live from paycheck to paycheck, from a box of macaroni and cheese to a can of soup. And we volunteered over at Navy Relief, and same thing. They'll call on Friday, and you hear the baby in the background. They have nothing.
I am a Boy Scout, and I just got my wolf badge.
Across town, Congressman Duncan Hunter is honoring San Diego's firefighters. Hunter is the chair of the Armed Services Committee in the House of Representatives. He oversees America's $360 billion defense budget.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for what you do. Military families make more money than they used to make, but it's nothing close to what you have to make to live in a very high cost of living area in the United States, and we are a high cost of living area.
But even so, Hunter doesn't think that it's necessarily the government's job to provide the solutions.
Well, here's what we think in America, and I think this is what makes America different from any other democracies in the world, including Britain, France, Germany. We have this great spirit of individuality and rugged self-accountability. And so when we need help on things, we have great government programs, but our difference with us and the rest of the civilized world is we don't believe that government provides everything. We believe in neighbors. We believe in strong family.
But where does this leave the military families of San Diego and the rest of the United States while their loved ones are away fighting the war on terror in the front lines in Afghanistan and Iraq? Well, lining up and signing up for free food.
How many in your family? 4. Man, you're on top of things. Biscuits, mashed potatoes, or baked beans for KFC?
Things like this are extremely necessary and very helpful, you know, especially for my wife and I. We have 3 kids. It's very hard, me being away. It's extremely helpful.
Wow, you guys, look at all this. Come on, not the big one. The pay is small, and it really does help the families because it just makes it a little easier to stretch the paycheck. They do have a lot of nice things here, don't they?
Hurry, get the big one.
Pearl Harbor survivor Clayton collected the bread that is being distributed here today. He knows there is a real need to support these families.
Especially now, since they're off to Iraq and all the other places are always in danger, and their families are home trying to survive. I think they need help. I think it's a shame, like I say, they should get more. They are putting their life on the line.
The burden of feeding American servicemen's families has fallen to people like Clayton and Heidi Martin. She has been running this food pantry for the last 4 years.
If there's a problem, you fix it. You know, people are hungry, you fix that, you know. Our weekly food ministry right now services 345 families a week, and that's going to grow. Every week it's grown.
Yet, as Heidi points out, the families here are still comparatively well off. Every day, she says, military chaplains and social workers refer destitute servicemen's families who have completely run out of money.
We don't ask questions. We get their name, rank, social, write it down, and then we feed them. And those families, they get toilet paper, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, and food. So, and sometimes laundry soap if we have it. That's a hard one to keep on hand. Diapers. I never have enough diapers on hand, so if it's a family that needs diapers, sometimes we have to run to the store and just go purchase them.
It seems extraordinary that America's mighty warriors are having to worry about such basic things as nappies and food for their families back home. And every week, the queue at Heidi's is getting longer and longer.